Hi Hi guys, today it's the afternoon. I think it's around just after 5 p.m. on Sunday the 2nd of November 2025 here in New Zealand. Right, so I had this dream last night and it was a prophetic dream. It fitted all the criteria and it was very memorable. For anyone who's interested in the phenomena of prophetic dreams, I highly recommend the book, the sci-fi classic Dune by Frank Herbert. I'm listening to the audiobook at the moment, and it's like it talks a lot about prophetic dreams and from a kind of basically Christian perspective too. And Paul points out that, like, as he says in the books, he always remembers the dreams that are predictions, and yeah, that seems to be a rule. Like, if it's a predictive prophetic dream, they say there are dreams you remember and then there are dreams you can't forget, and this falls in the latter category. Right, so it was pretty short and simple to the point. I'm going to refer you in the description box. Please also refer to the disclaimer in the description box if you've not already done so. But I'm going to put a link to a video by a guy, I think his channel's name is The Prophet's Den, and I have some of his videos. I had some of his videos in my playlists for like a year or two. And I'm subscribed to him, and he recently put out a video. God showed him there was going to be this huge tsunami coming very soon, and he said the waves were going to be something like, I'll correct myself in the description box below, it was something like between 40 to 100 feet, like very high. But he didn't know which part of the world this was in, but he was showing the tsunami devastating this coastline. So I found this has happened in the past. Often God will give me dreams and they'll be directly linked symbolically or through kind of messages or images to the prophetic dreams of others that I've seen online. And I've had others have the same thing for me. They'll see one of my videos and they'll have a dream that kind of ties them with one of mine. So yeah, in this dream it was pretty short and sweet, simple, to the point. It was by a window here in New Zealand, Venetian blinds, like the standard type, they have the slats are about like about 20 millimeters long, and then you have there's a kind of a long cord, and at the end of this cord there's this little plastic kind of almost looks like a bell. It's about 20 millimeters, that's 2 centimeters high, and like maybe 1.5, so 15 millimeters each side, and there's a square. So it's sort of here, and then kind of drops off like this, and you got these little slit kind of grooves. You've got two grooves on each side. It has this distinctive pattern and shape, and in the dream, I don't know what this was, but I saw little toggles, kind of these in New Zealand, those little plastic like bell-shaped things I just described. They're at the end of the cord of Venetian blinds when you pull them, and then if you want to like adjust the angle of the blades, there's a plastic thing which you twist, but to like pull them up and down, there's this plastic thing on the end of just a string cord, and you pull it down, and the blinds go up. And I was lying down and I could see this long string, and it had like between, I would say, 30 and 100 of these little plastic bells, except in the dream they were made out of terracotta. I don't know what it means. And I was in Japan, and I was warning the people, and I was saying there's a tsunami coming, and I had a piece of like a wooden blade, like bat. Almost, it didn't look like a weapon. It almost looked like a really small chopping board for use in a kitchen. But it was like it was really weird. It was like a musical instrument. It was like just like kind of raking it up and down the string of these little terracotta knobs, and it was making some sound. Maybe I got no idea what that means. It's like, but I was warning the people. I was like, there's a tsunami coming. In the dream I knew I was doing it, but I knew I was throughout different parts of Japan. I don't know exactly where, obviously on the coastlines in Japan, most probably on the eastern side of Japan, because it seems to be where yeah, most of the earthquakes seem to occur off the east coast, and then yeah, rather than in the Sea of Japan. The sea between the inland sea, or the sea between Japan and China and Korea. And yeah, I was just warning everyone. And if you look at that guy, I'll put a link to his dream. This guy, I forget his name, from the Prophet's Den. It might be Edmund. Anyway, I spoke with him and I quickly talked with him in comments. And what I find interesting though is that the cover image for his dream about the tsunami, God didn't tell him where it was going to be. He got given the rough size, and he just got told to warn. Like, he got shown and felt it was like he was shown, and he felt this was going to happen very soon. But the cover image he used for that video is the cover image I've used in the past for the videos I've done about prophetic dream warnings of upcoming tsunamis that God's given to me. And interestingly, that photo was taken in Japan in the 2011 tsunami. So I think that's an indirect confirmation, like God was kind of tying my dream in with his, and God was showing me, like, he didn't know where. He did get, and he got information on the size, which I didn't get given specifically, but I got told where it will happen. So I think it's kind of like one of these things where God's interlinking the dreams. And I believe the fact that he chose that image, I'm not sure he knew that was from the Japan tsunami. I believe it's an indirect confirmation. And I speculate, although I'm not sure, like, it was so weird. I think maybe the number of those little terracotta things, I think it was dual symbolism for me, and it represented both the height and feet of the tsunami. So there were like between 30 and 100 of these things. And I think it was also saying the number represented the height and feet of the tsunami, and it also represented, I believe, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, the number of days like out from when this will occur. Like, it's a rough range. So like 30 to 100 days from now is 1 to just over 3 months from now. And I believe, it was like 30 feet is 10 meters, up to 100 feet was sort of like, it's like 35 meters, the height of the tsunami. So go have a look at this prophetic dream of a tsunami from this other Christian prophetic dream seer YouTuber that I put in the description below. And I don't know, man, I could be wrong, but my just, it felt like a prophetic dream. I feel a bit confused, to be honest, but I just feel strongly that it was from God, and therefore I just have to kind of cast my confusion and aside and just do it, put it up. And by the way, there are just freaking introduce parrots. I think it's Eastern Rosella. A few live around here. They're from Australia originally. Quink, quink, quink. It's very loud to spin overhead. Very colourful parrot, by the way. Just be aware. Interestingly, the system, like the Matrix, man, they're everywhere. They have their agents everywhere. They even have their agents in the Christian prophetic dream seer YouTuber space. Like, I'm not kidding. I have to go through some of my playlists and remove some of the videos because it took me a while to identify who they are. But there's like, people have done videos about it. There's like at least 5 to 15. And it's just Celestial from the Master's Voice is like tons of red flags. She's definitely one of these paid agents. Doesn't have the fruits of the spirit at all. Very cold and brutal and like violent with people like who are quite innocent and well-meaning in her comments. I don't want to get into it too much personally because then you can kind of get the supporters dogpiling onto you. But just be aware they're here, and there are some like big accounts who cross prophetic dreams, and it's all the general rule with like disinformation, psychological operations is like the 90% truth and 10% they spike it, and it's confusion. So and you'll notice like one of the red flags for like, they say like, no, I'm never wrong. I'm like, I always get it right. Or like Celestial, the Master's Voice, one of the right reasons you can tell she's not legit, apart from the fact that she's very brutal and cold and like non-loving with people in her comments at times, is she talks about her dreams and she says she can remember every single exact detail. Like most people That's not really a thing. And most of us make mistakes, you know. We don't get it wrong 100% of the time. So I don't know, I might get this one wrong, but dream interpretation is notoriously tricky. I hope I am wrong, actually. I hope this doesn't happen, but if it does, this is a heads up and a warning for people in Japan, and for the nation of Japan specifically. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got to say. Thank you for your time, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.